Welcome back, babes. Systems live, feeds open. How are we all doing? I hope we're doing well because I'm having a lovely day. Because today we're talking about revenged love. And for those who have no idea what I'm talking about, revenged love is has a revenge plot setup that becomes much more than a scheme. It shows how plans born from hurt can lead to healing, love, and unexpected loyalty. It starts with Suowei plans to win back control by seducing Chi Cheng, but of course, feelings don't follow plans. So, as we always start all of these off with our characters, we have Suowei. He's the underdog. He's hurt, broke, and humiliated and wants revenge. He starts a business to elevate himself, initially treats Chi Cheng as a rival / a project, and he gradually starts genuinely falling in love. He wrestles with pride, shame, and jealousy. We have Chi Cheng, the wealthy heir. He's emotionally guarded and accustomed to being in control. He's cold and distant at first, but slowly opens up, and his family and past conflicts also come into play. We have, I'm so sorry about these names. I really am. I just had them read, but like I'm still gonna do them. I'm still gonna say them wrong. I'm so sorry. Please correct me as I fail at saying names. Jiang Xiao Shuai. I'm so sorry about the mess up of these names. I really am. I'm gonna make them as simple for myself and for everyone else as possible to listen to. The childhood friend of Suowei. He's a doctor, he's loyal, he's kind, and he has his own insecurities. He acts as a support to Wei and gives perspective and contrast to the main plot's more dramatic arcs. We have Guo Cheng Yu, and he is Chi Cheng's cousin / business associate. He is also a playboy. He is charming, but he has depth, and his romance with Shuai develops. I'm so sorry. We'll call him the doctor since I'm not that great at his name either. I'm so sorry. He's charming but has depth, and his romance with the doctor develops more gently. He acts as foil for the secondary romance that's quieter and more restful. And then the last we have are the exes, Yue and Wang Shuo, who are key in motivating Suowei's revenge and causing jealousy and drama. Their actions force the main characters to confront past hurts and what they value. So, let's get into the show, shall we? We have Suowei's ex, Yue, dumps him because he's poor and she's a bitch who's only looking for money and status. She literally leaves him for another man who isn't important, but he had money. So, Wei decides to try and better himself to get her back, though she's not worth it, but he cleans himself up anyway, and he starts to try and make money, but she still doesn't want him, even though he looks better and he's trying. So he has to move on, but he doesn't forget about her. He discovers Yue's new partner is Chi Cheng and decides, since she thinks she's so much better than me, I'll just steal her man and show her she ain't shit. So Suowei pursues Chi Cheng. There are awkward moments, plenty of miscommunications, plenty of jealousy, and many emotional walls. This show got many different things that are, there's 24 fucking episodes, babes. If you want drama, best believe this show got some fucking drama. So please watch, because I've seen it. I know the show is relatively new. I've seen it. I'm honestly about to rewatch it. I loved it. It was so good. I digress. Let's continue. Chi Cheng doesn't immediately succumb. There's definitely some emotional tension that keeps him a bit of a distance. However, Wei Wei learns as much as he can about him and basically doesn't let the man breathe. He's around him 25/8, but Chi Cheng does not seem to mind. They both start to develop feelings along the way, though they're not making that very obvious to each other. They're both playing, I can't say they both are. Wei Wei's playing hard to get. Chi Cheng is talking about he want to sleep with this man left and right 25/8, so hey.
别他妈跟我聊这些狗屁东西，咱俩不如聊聊肛门解剖学。
今晚有空吗？
怎么，这么快就想被我杀
？Suowei and Cheng Yu, their relationship also starts during some of this, and it's steady but gentle. Cheng Yu surprisingly does not force a lot onto the doctor, although he can be mean at times. I don't think intentionally, if we're being honest. I think it's just in his nature to like be a little forceful, so it's not anything like crazy. Their relationship gives breathing room, as well as some comedic relief due to how snappy the doctor is. I love him. He is so quick-witted. It kills me to watch him, because I swear he be having me in my room crying with how quick some of his comebacks are. I'm not even kidding. Like, it reminds me of myself. I'm very sarcastic, so a lot of the times my mouth will move faster than my brain. So sometimes I didn't even have a second thought. I didn't even have a second chance to like think about what I wanted to say before it came out of my mouth. That's how it seems like he is. Like, he just says like the first thing that comes to mind and it's done. That's why I think like I thought his character was so funny. It definitely helps. It definitely added some tension between the two, which made it all the more worthwhile to watch. Chi Cheng and Wei Wei's relationship gets stronger as well, as Yue's character is exposed for being a fake, thanks to Wei Wei. However, with one obstacle out of the way, that just makes room for another one to come along, and come along it sure the fuck did. Welcome in Chi Cheng's ex, Wang Shuo. And he is just a ball of drama and has one intention and one intention only: to break up Wei Wei and squeeze himself in to get back Chi Cheng. What all he does, I'm gonna leave for y'all to watch, because that shit was juicy as fuck. However, he was only one problem. Another issue arrived, which actually was pretty difficult to kind of watch. It was Wei Wei's mom ended up getting sick, but she really didn't want Wei Wei to know, and it ended up falling on Chi Cheng to take care of her. She made sure Chi Cheng didn't say anything to Wei Wei about it either, so it kind of made everything so much more difficult. With Wang Shuo there, and then his mom also being sick, it really just made everything like way more complicated than it needed to be. During this time, everything kind of fell apart between the two, between Chi Cheng and Wei Wei. So he did end up finding out about his mom being sick. Thankfully, he was able to spend whatever time she had left with her, which was one good thing that came out of it. But yeah, he did end up losing his mom. So during that time that Wei Wei was able to spend with his mom while she was passing, Chi Cheng finally cut ties with Wang Shuo. And when the time came where Wei Wei's mom finally did pass, he was able to be there for him. And Lord knows, Suowei really needed somebody, because he was not in a good place after his last remaining parent passed away. It was very hard to watch, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm a crybaby to begin with, but like parent things really just, I love my mom. Like, I love my mom down. Like, that's my girl. So that one kind of just hit home for me. Like, even now, like, it still makes me, it makes me want to cry just thinking about it. But, you know, it's part of the show. It's supposed to hit you where it hurts, you know? So thankfully, Chi Cheng was able to be there for him when he needed him. Thank the Lord. However, as I said before, one obstacle gone makes way for another. So in comes Chi Cheng's family, more specifically his stinky old daddy, who actually kidnapped Wei Wei.
知道我是谁吗？那你说说看，我是谁？
老丈人。
And tries to convince him to break up with Chi Cheng. So, Chi Cheng, during this time that Wei Wei got taken, tries to get him back. He tries to find where his father's keeping him and physically get him back. However, Wei Wei's actually kind of smart. And he was able to escape, all on his little lonesome. And his father taking him did literally nothing. Them niggas is still together. So it didn't even matter. His father just kind of butt in where he didn't need to. Didn't matter. So, but that one thing ends, another thing happens. And these niggas really just couldn't catch a break. They stick together. However, it seems like the world is constantly trying to throw things at them to pull them apart. Chi Cheng is arrested for embezzlement. And Wei Wei basically gives up everything. The company him and Chi Cheng started together. Anything, any money he gained along the way. He even sold his mom's house to try and get Chi Cheng back. And with all this effort, his parents see that Wei Wei might actually be different from all the past people that Chi Cheng was dealing with before. Eventually, after all this effort, they are reunited. Chi Cheng is released, and Chi Cheng's family finally accepts Suowei for what he is, and he's Chi Cheng's partner. So Wei Wei does actually get, at the end of this, something like home, emotionally, symbolically, and perhaps even literally. Sweet touch of heaven. The sweet, sweet touch of love is the reason for every season. Yeah, yeah. Hey, it's the reason for every season. Yeah, yeah. It's the reason for every season. After losing his family, he found another one, you know, like he was able to gain Chi Cheng's family, which was cute because he went through it. That man really went through it. Like that man went through it. I can't even express that enough. That man was trials and tribulations. That man went through that shit like he did. And that poor thing. Oh my God. So I'm thankful that they finally shut the fuck up and just dealt with the fact that Wei Wei's not going nowhere. And one very cute thing to note, Chi Cheng got Wei Wei's mom's place back. So, and the tree, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go watch it because I'm not saying any more than that. He got his mom's place back and the tree. So that was a cute little happy ending to their story, which I really loved. Like it was just it was so cute. Shuai and Cheng Yu's plot line also got a cute ending as well. Cheng Yu helped Shuai kind of get through a lot of the trauma that he had dealt with when he was in college. And he also helped him get the clinic expansion that he wanted, which was very cute. And that nigga cooks. That nigga cook. That nigga could cook. I'm gonna say that right now. I know I didn't preface it before, but you know the main couple is Chi Cheng and Wei. So but if there's any couple, if there's any second couple in a show that needs to get their own like thing, it was them. Oh, 100% was them. Like, what? They really had like their own cute little. I loved them. They were one of my favorite second couples. I say the only other second couple I could say I loved just as much and I wanted to see so much extra of too was probably Fort and Pete for Love in the Air. Like I feel like that was the equivalent for me. Like those two couples and these two couples are like same level for me. Like I loved them both. That was they did them so well. They just do their couple so well. So sorry, I loved it. I really did. I loved it. Like everyone finally, the final episode had them all come together after Chi Cheng finally got out of jail. They had this cute, huge water fight in the middle of a square somewhere. I don't know the location of all the stuff that they were doing. I couldn't tell you. I'm not from, I think it might have been Taiwan. I'm not sure all the places that they are there. So I couldn't tell you, but it was cute. It was cute as hell. And everybody got to join in. So I thought it was a very, very cute ending. For me, what I thought worked really well was the chemistry between the couples. I think it was cute to see them kind of break each other's walls down. It was a cute build. Like I really enjoyed how we started off. They started off first of all not liking each other, and that shit went from dislike to complete and utter love. So we started off on one opposite side of the spectrum and we jumped to a whole other side of the spectrum, which like how can you hate that trope? That's such a cute trope. Haters to love, it's a good trope. It's a easy trope to get behind. So I liked watching them slowly build their relationship. It was very cute. And I also liked the second couple, Suowei and Cheng. Their couple was very cute. It wasn't as forceful, I guess is the best way to describe it. It wasn't as forceful as Chi Cheng and Wei, but it had its own like plot line. It was cute. It had its own story. It had its own contrast, and their love grew same way Chi Cheng and Wei's love grew. And although theirs didn't start off specifically hatred, theirs started off with dislike. More so on the doctor's side than on Cheng Yu's side. But it started off one way and we drifted into another. So it was just as cute. I loved it. I loved both couples. They were both amazing, and the actors are gorgeous. Acting is amazing. They played their characters so well. Loved it. It was great. Thematic depth that the show carried. They dealt with class, familial expectations, past hurt, shame, self-worth. It wasn't just romance to be romantic. They really dug deep into the emotional realism of the show, and I really liked that aspect of it because it felt like we could actually get behind the couples, like it wasn't like watching The Office where like we had the first few seasons watching Jim and Pam kind of like get together where they seemed like the perfect couple. Like you can get behind the perfect couple for a little bit, but you kind of need them to also have their faults so that you can feel like you're also that couple, So I liked all the conflict that did occur, although some of it was but it was still very well done. And the production itself was great. Like, I cannot explain to you how many the soundtracks they used. Whoever took care of the music, you did an excellent job on the music picks. I do have to tell you, whoever did the music, I cannot tell you how many songs I Shazammed while I was watching the show. I Shazammed so many of the songs from the show. The music was very, very well picked, and it worked. It did what it needed to do. And the cinematography, they just really know how to focus, how to input environment. Environment is so important when you're watching shows. People do not realize it until you're watching how important an environment can play in a role. And the cinematography is just it's so good, and it helps support all the emotional moments in the show. So I think everything was just well put together. Like, it kind of came together how it needed to, you know? There were a couple things that didn't work for me. Not many. There were just a few. One thing that fell off was the weird storyline of Chi Cheng liking Cheng Yu. I didn't really care for that. It wasn't really on my bingo card. It didn't sit well with me. It just added, it was a weird plot twist, if I'm being honest. I just wasn't expecting it. It kind of like threw me off. It wasn't horrible. I just really wasn't expecting it to be something that we did. Okay. Also, the amount of miscommunication and overlapping of the tropes, it felt like some of the tropes were used pretty heavily. Like, it felt like some of the things were a bit recycled. Not to say that was like bad. It felt like more, I think, overkill. Like, it ended up making some things feel dragged out. And it could have just been me. Like, you know, maybe I was just like, you know, maybe it just felt like everything was a bit, certain parts were dragged out longer than they needed to be. But I think it might also be connected to my next point. Where I thought it also kind of threw me off a bit when Chi Cheng and Wei Wei would fight one night, and then the next day it was like nothing happened. They just kind of went back to normal. Like, I feel like that and the overlapping of the tropes kind of fall into the same category of maybe it's drama specific, or maybe it was meant to feel like something that real couples might do. I think maybe they were going for you know, that topic of couples ignoring certain aspects of their relationship that they don't like, and letting them just bottle up all the different issues and emotions until it hits a breaking point. The only reason that part doesn't sit well with me is just because I don't do that. That's not something I personally do. I don't like to let things just sit and bottle up anymore. Like, it's definitely something I used to do, so I can understand where the trope comes from. But I have a tendency of not letting things just sit and fester anymore, because as we saw on the show, it just kind of builds to where you can no longer accept it, and you guys inevitably separate. So I think that's more of the topic or trope that they were trying to play on, was the letting issues bottle up. Maybe that was why things kept repeating the way they did, you know. But for me, I felt like it was a bit much. But I mean, besides that, like, I still thought the show was very well done. It still rates very high for me, so I still really enjoyed it. That little downside included. Like, I still really enjoyed the show. So for me, Revenge Love earns 8.5 out of 10 daggers. See, it's still very high up on the rating scale. Very high up. 8.5 out of 10 daggers. And, you know, for me, the emotional payoff, character growth, the chemistry, the balance between romance and drama, it all did very well. I thought it's definitely a show that holds up well, and I think it plays on so many different topics and tropes, and includes so many different emotional aspects and topics that I feel like anybody can watch it and kind of get behind the two couples. Like, I really think it was very well done. It was very well done. But I do want to know, like, what you guys thought. Wei Wei's revenge plan justified, or did it hurt too many innocent people? Did Chi Cheng forgive too easily, and was his family arc believable? Which couple resonated with you more, the main couple or the second couple? I guess let's cut the feet, babes, because my work here is done.